Everyone, and welcome to Grammar episode 24. Today we're talking about modal auxiliary verbs. Let's see what we have to do with these words. First of all, a modal verb is always followed by an infinitive verb, a verb in V1 form. Let's have a look at some examples. Now, may is used to talk about possibility or even asking for permission. Now, the examples that follow the same order of my explanation here. So pause the video and have a look at possibility and asking for permission with the word may. The word might is a slight possibility, less than the word may, but it's also the past form of may in reported speech. Now pause the video and have a look at these examples. The word can looks at ability, what you can or can't do. So your ability to do something. It's also used for asking for permission or making an offer of some kind of help. Pause the video and look at these examples. Now, could talks about past ability, what we could do in the past or we couldn't do in the past. It's also about hypothetical possibilities, things that may or may not be true. But you can also ask for permission or request information politely using the word could. So pause the video and look at these examples closely to understand what I've said here. Must is a command, an obligation. Must not is a prohibition. You must not do something. You are forbidden from doing it. Parents use this quite a lot. Now pause the video and look at these examples. Now would asks for permission politely, makes a polite offer, or shows some kind of preference. It can also be the past of will as well, okay? So pause the video and look at these examples. Now should gives advice, very soft advice, not very strict advice, okay? And it can be used for logical deduction, a logical conclusion. And that example is the last one here. So pause the video so you can understand exactly what I mean by a logical deduction, logical conclusion. Now, shall makes offers or suggestions, but only for the subject I and we. So pause the video and have a look at this example. But will can be used with all types of subjects. They, we, I, you, he, to talk about all future possibilities. So pause the video and look at this example. Had better is strict advice, more than the word should. And here you have some very good examples of strict advice. It's almost like must, okay? Because it suggests that there will be a consequence if you don't do what they say. So you had better study. What would be the consequence? You will fail your exam if you don't study. So you had better study. So there'll be a consequence if you don't follow this strict advice. So pause the video and have a look at this example. Now, have or has to is a necessity, but it's less than the word must. So you need to do it, but there's no serious consequence if you don't. But have or has got to is stricter, okay? It's almost like the word must. So it sounds like there might be a consequence if you don't do what you have got to do. Now, need to just talks about necessity. I need to do this, I need to do that. Pause the video and have a look at the examples. And don't forget, I also have the word to following the word need. Now, ought to. Ought to is strict advice, stricter than should, but less strict than the word must. It can also be used for logical deduction again. So here is the example for the logical deduction, the logical conclusion. So these are the main modal verbs. Go back and have a look at the examples and good luck.